Hey, this is Kevin with My Shop Assist. Today I'm going to go over some changes as of May 2024. We've been working on these updates for about 6 months, so it's a pretty major update. And the first thing I want to go over is changes to the user settings. The first part of that is if you have more than one shop, we now have the ability to quick switch between them. So if you click your little user icon on the top right, you can click the switch user button and it will let you switch between them. So if you have more than one shop, then you can jump between both of them on the fly like that. The second part, and this is probably a little more important for most people, is we made some changes to the settings for individual people. So if you go into a user, you'll see there used to be just 3 buttons here. It was the user information. It's like their username, first name, last name, email, phone. And we added these other things in the bottom over the last 6 months as well, but these are already in production. So the roles is really just manager and technician are the 2 big ones. This completed jobs to zone section, what this means is when a job is marked as completely finished, whatever you have for the zones here is where the job will move to automatically. So in the past, it was just by default the completed one. And then we added the function where it didn't move it to the completed one automatically. Now we made it so you can customize which zone it goes to. So for myself, I move everything to the export column because I know when the job has been completed, I need to export it to QuickBooks, take payment, and then make sure the customer knows it's done. The department is for the zone departments. So we have the ability to group zones together into a department, and then you can configure what a user has for their department, essentially by default. So that'll mean when they go to the job screen, it will show a single department rather than all the zones. And the starting page, this is not new, but it is for this this version. It just is a default homepage for whoever's the user is. So nothing really changed significantly on this tab. For the permissions, we keep adding more and more stuff in here, so just peruse through it every once in a while if you want to see if anything has changed. But like, basically you can turn on and off what people can do, especially technicians. Managers will have everything automatically checked on, and there's not even a setting for it. It's just all on. But the big changes are going to be in these 2. So this is going to be what we call user options. So these are going to be like functions that happen when you do certain things. So for an example, this new one on the top here is play an audible alert when message is received. So with the chat system, if you receive a message, it'll bing at you through your computer's speakers. And so you can turn that on or off. If it's annoying, you leave it off. If you want to know when somebody's messaging you while you're working on a car, you turn it on. And then the 3 on the bottom here, and this one as well. This one is expanding all tasks on the job details page. Sorry, that one is not a new one, but the next one is when starting a task timer also asked to clock in. What that is for is if your technicians start a timer on a task and they're not clocked in, it'll pop up a little window that says, do you want to clock in at the same time? We get some people asking that, hey, my guy keeps forgetting to clock in, or he didn't clock in when he was running his timer, so we don't know how many hours he worked for the day. This should help it make it easier where you can click one timer on a task and it will remind you that you didn't clock in. And the opposite, the one on the bottom here, is when clocking out. If you clock out on the timer at the end of the day, it will ask you if you want to stop all your job timers as well. And this can automatically do it rather than asking you. And then the last one here is show recent messages on dashboard. So that is going to be this panel on the top right here, or sorry, on the right-hand side here. It used to be a calendar. We're making it into like a message stream, and this is the most recent message stream. So that is a nicer, more useful way to put that on your dashboard, I think. I think it's a little more useful for managing a shop rather than the little mini calendar. Okay, and the last thing we added, and this is completely new to the custom or to the user settings, is the notification settings. So the notification bell was added to this version last year, and so a lot of people loved it. But the only problem was you couldn't really configure what you were getting notified on, and now we have made it so you can completely customize that. So if you click in here, I think by default now we just left them all off, mostly because there's a lot of technicians that don't need any notifications. But like as a manager, you can come in here and like turn on if it's invoice has been exported, if a job has been completed, or if a payment has been received. Like if you're emailing payments to customers when they make the payment. It will notify you. Same goes for authorizations. So you can kind of customize your notifications here and how the bell works. And it will be different for each person, which is kind of how we would like it to be, because each role in the shop is going to have different needs as far as how that goes. So that's really the big changes for the user settings. If you have any questions, let me know.